Welcome back, and we're talking about food, and joining me now to discuss the outlook for 2024 is Sharmila Jain Oswal. She's founder of organic food and millet brand Gudmom. Sharmila, hi, good to have you. A happy 2024 to you. And while the previous year was the year of International Year of Millets, just a look back, and how would you describe that year for India? Because we saw some 80 startups start on when it came to millet. There was a lot of conversation, a lot of programs being done, awareness being created as well. How would you term or explain the year?
Wish you a very happy new year. Thank you so much for inviting me here, CNBC. So 2023, as declared as International Year of Millet, it was a fabulous year, and especially to share that, especially India, they were completely unaware of the word millet. Like, despite they know jawar, bajra, ragi, but still this word millet, it was an alien word. But because of our government and our own Prime Minister becoming brand ambassador of millet, it became very popular in 2023. And I think ghar ghar, har ghar, millet. So that story has begun from every home. So 2023 is been a really millet year. And India established and set the precedent as the global millet hub to the world.
Sharmila, how would you say the kind of growth that we've seen in sense of production? Because it's taking some land away from other crops when you are growing more millets. Of course, it's more efficient, more affordable to grow millets. I mean, we all know about all of those benefits, but how have you seen the production numbers increase on a year-on-year basis?
That is the whole, unfortunately, I mean, the supply chain side is being very badly affected, because I think the kind of supply, what we are expecting or what we are looking, so that ratio is not equilibrium to, with the other commodities. So as the demand grown and the policies changed, so let's say on the government level or the army level, so they made the compulsory millets for the army. So suddenly the increase has so much, in a tremendous demand, millet coming in demand. So supply chain is not yet setting that equilibrium. So possibly maybe, now because 2023 started, so this is like a kind of beginning of the whole new era where we are reviving our ancient grain. So I think we needed time, or farmers needed time, or country as on the policy intervention side needed some time. So I think we have evolved. So even though, supply chain is definitely needing attention, but I think I'm sure farmers or the ground level and from the government side also the appropriate it is in the process pipeline, I would say.
All right. Sharmila, how would you look at the pricing part of it as well? I mean, as you said, availability is still a concern. Demand is being put in place, and there's an increase in demand as well. How are you looking at the pricing part of it?
Yes, pricing part suddenly has risen up, and in India, it used to be, said, or it was a proverb that jawari is a garibo ka khana. So that wo wali baat to rahi nahi hai. It has become a kind niche. Now the jawar roti or jawar khichdi or jawar noodle, jawar pasta has become a wellness food or a fitness industry or a very niche segment mein aa gaya. So what happened is suddenly that pricing has taken a very leap. But I'm sure
so if you compare it to last year or a couple of years ago, Sharmila, how much of a price increase have we seen in millets? Is it to the tune of 5 to 7%, or is it double digits?
On retail side, I would say it is multiple times, but on bulk side, definitely 5 to 7%. I mean, on a larger bulk side.
Sharmila, how would you look at 2024 now? I mean, I get your point that 2023 was just the beginning. I mean, a lot of firsts were being set when it came to millets. Now, for this year, what do you see panning out as?
So when 23 we began, everybody was like, oh my God, what is happening? There are not 80, but 1,000 startups in India. I mean, and 1,000 is an official figure, I'm saying. But more than that, everybody started into this industry. More than that, corporates, big companies started getting into it. Everybody. So I think with this whole momentum, the gear up. So the whole, the tempo has been geared up in such a way that everybody, even you can say any builder or construction industry person also would want to get into the millet. So I think that awareness is strong. Even the people with a lot of, their own land, they want to grow millets. So I think we are going on the positive side for growing millets, not only the farmers, but I think from corporate side also, from FPO side, from, I mean, on the ground level also. So I think that much, the progress. So 2024, we are already geared up, we are warmed up, and we are ready for the markets.
Sharmila, when it comes to value addition in millets, the processing that is, and then there is yet another target being set for millet exports as well. As you said, the domestic demand itself doesn't seem to be getting fulfilled right now. How is India going to perform at all these levels?
So overseas, as last time also I shared that millet are always seen as a bird fodder or the animal fodder. But now after the millet year, yes, they started like getting aware that okay, it is for the human consumption and the nutrition benefits, and post-COVID for the immunity purpose, and the most important thing is food security. So now that attention. So if you will see US or Europe, or earlier, I mean, India used to export for the as a fodder. So jawar, bajra, it's always even proso millet. It has gone as a fodder, but not for the human consumption. But now that value addition product. So for example, millet cookies or millet pasta or millet noodles or any kind of millet khichdi, plant-based milk. In that, I mean, millet milk, millet ice creams, and sustainability and climate change. So the whole era, if you see, even including the G20, I mean, everywhere it is about that climate resilient or how the carbon footprints or the water smart crop. So I think millet has all that advantages, and I think millet is able to justify that.
A quick final question then, Sharmila. How are you looking at the demand going forward when it comes to the Indian markets? I mean, we've been reading on how there is food that is being introduced into army in various schools as well. There's a lot of nutrition into this as well. So while we have spoken about the price growth that we've seen in last year, but what is the sense on demand growth here?
So demand demand is growing a lot. So even like every state has started like implementing a program, and recently there was a seed conference, national seed summit also in Maharashtra only it was there. So like there were a lot of positive dialogues, communication on to work on the seeds, like fortified seeds, or how do we make the seeds the proper nutrition, because many times the seeds are hybrid and then we are not getting the results. So I think the focus on how to grow on the organic seeds, and then sowing the seeds, and the farmers, capacity building of farmers are taking a major crucial role. If you see, just recently, 1 month ago, Bajra Research Center got launched by the Vice President in Badmer, that is in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is the highest growing of Bajra. So same for Gujarat. So similarly for demands, I think every state is working pretty hard. Right from the distribution like PDS or the schools or midday meals, everywhere. And I think maybe upcoming in some time you will see it is incorporated everywhere. So I think that equilibrium is going to be maintained. It's just that we are in that time. We are just in the, I think, process. Government is doing all the positive things. From the farmers' side, they are being very greatly, that awareness has been already done.
So the knowledge being imparted, as you said. Well,
absolutely,
I get that.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot happening in the millet push, and it doesn't really end with 2023, which was, by the way, International Year of Millets. And as Sharmila tells us, that next year or this year is going to be as important. As far as the prices go, well, that is something to watch out for, because we are looking at prices increasing many-fold when it comes to millets in last 1 year itself. Sharmila, thank you so much for joining us and making sense of all that's happening in case of millets there. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Commodity Champions. Thank you so much for watching.